So welcome to another weekly tea. It's a Wednesday. We've not long come out of our weekly meeting. We're a bit tired this morning, so it's taken a while to wake up, especially with the cold weather. It doesn't really help you. Don't think I've had a cup of coffee yet. I've opened up a can of Hyde. Have you got your energy drink? What have you got today?
I've gone for a bang.
Just a bang, okay.
A bit light on the caffeine.
So we sat back and we're trying to figure out today's topic, and we're thinking we need energy, and then it popped up, why not talk about ways of increasing energy besides the likes of energy drink, caffeine, coffee. Choose your preference, whether you're a Starbucks fan and a Dino fan or anything like that. So when you're feeling tired, do you often reach for a quick fix? Do you go for a coffee, or do you try and go for something a bit like, I don't know, what's your solution?
I don't like hot drinks, so I won't go for a coffee or tea or anything like that. I'm a sucker for an energy drink.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily find a lot of them give me a great deal of energy. Like standard Monsters, they don't do a great deal for me. I drink them more for taste.
Yeah.
But I found like recently, like this morning, I've gone for a bang, and it has made me feel a little bit more alert.
It does make it a bit more upbeat.
When
you go for an energy drink, do you go just straight caffeine, 0 calories, or do you go for ones with the carbohydrates in them as well? And do you notice the difference?
To be honest, at the moment, I'm not really too fussed about calories. I'm trying to put a bit of weight on, so it doesn't really make a difference to me. Obviously, it's always nice to probably opt for a sugar-free one. I've found in the past when I've had one with carbohydrates in, then I feel a bit more sluggish.
Yeah. Do you think that's the crash combined with the carb of the insulin spike?
That's right. I think it is. I've put it down to that anyway. So I do tend to opt for a sugar-free one. Obviously, like a lot of ones we stock in the shop, they're all sugar-free, so it makes it easier.
Just for the people out there who are on board the whole energy drinks are bad for you, there's not one study that shows they're bad for you when it comes to straight up caffeine in a can. Basically, there's no difference between this and a cup of coffee. I mean, if you're having a cup of coffee with milk from a Starbucks, you're getting your caffeine, you're getting your carbohydrates, you're actually getting more fat than usual. So what's the difference between a cup of coffee and an energy drink? There's no science correlating. The only thing that correlates is when it comes to combining two sources of energy, fast energy such as sugar and caffeine, then that can lead to heart palpitations. Okay, we're back from a little break from Moors. It won't be a break for you guys because Scotty would have just cut it and we just had to pause recording because a customer just came in. I do apologise about that. So we were talking before our break about energy drinks and like the evidence behind the safety, and how the only complications you're gonna kind of get is when you're taking an energy drink that's got the extra sugar in, because you're combining two sources of energy, which some people can cause heart palpitations, which is what some of the research is behind. As far as I know, none of the research is concluded that they are unhealthy when you're taking an actual energy drink. In other words, 0 sugar, just caffeine, the extra CoQ10 and taurine. People are now, the buzzword right now is protein. A couple of years ago, the buzzword was fat-free. Fat-free is not help obesity at all. It's one of the media things around about whole calories, where there's 9 calories per gram of fat, so people were going on low-fat diets trying to lose weight. That didn't help at all. The media then focused on energy drinks, the bad about the energy drinks, not only just for the caffeine, but also the artificial sweeteners. Now, artificial sweeteners in the dosage you are getting, whether it be a Diet Coke, a Pepsi Max, a Mr. High Power Potion, you're not going to suffer negatively with your health. Again, it's the whole media storm where blah blah blah, aspartame, blah blah blah, acetylcholine K. It doesn't work that way. The amount of dosages you are getting in the likes of sweeteners used in everyday products, you'll have to buy it by the bag weight, the bag load, and just shuffling it through your mouth. But then that comes with every ingredient. You take 3 scoops of a pre-workout, you're going to crash, you're going to have heart palpitations. Use common sense, people. Come on, you've got all the research, you've got the internet in this day and age. Go out, do your own research. And I don't mean go out and read articles that other people have written. Actually go and look at the research. So now, going away from the whole energy drink before this becomes an energy drink episode, other ways to increase your energy, besides the energy drinks, what do you normally go for?
If I'm looking to increase my energy, I mean,
do you treat, say if you're going for like a 1 hour gym session, do you treat a 1 hour gym session, prepping energy wise, to a 1 hour gym session any different than, say, if you're going around an expo all day, or you're going to do like a 1 hour marathon training session or whatever?
My training's a little bit more calculated, so I do look at the nutrition around the training. I do tend to look at having high carbs and sugars pre-training.
Yeah. How do you time when to have your meal? Because the thing is, with a lot of these pre-workouts, they say have it on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
So how do you fit everything inside your window?
See, I'm not really using pre-workouts as such. I go for more the pump products.
Yeah.
It doesn't make much of a difference, in my opinion, when it's an empty stomach with a pump. I found I've always got a great one from using that.
Yeah. If anything, you're going to get a better one.
Exactly. Yeah. When you take the carbohydrates. Yeah. With the food, I tend to just eat about an hour before. Really, I'll sit there and watch a bit of telly while I'm getting ready, and I'll eat what I'm eating. It won't be anything heavy. It won't be anything really starchy. It tends to be a bit more sugars. That's how I tend to do it. But like you say, there, walking around expos and that, I'd normally just eat on the go while I'm at an expo. I wouldn't ever think about preparing foods pre-hand.
Yeah. See, I'm a bit different when it comes to that, because like if I'm getting ready for the gym, I want something fast acting. I want not high in sugar, because if I have something too high in sugar, I'll tend to crash, and I don't really want that. I get lethargy. I don't want that. So I'll have something like a Total War. Is the Total War rusty? So something like a Total War or a Hypermax that gives me just enough energy to the point where I'm not going to crash. That will get me through my gym session easily. Gym sessions potentially around about 45 to 60 minutes. I think most people train about that anyway. I cycle everywhere as I commute. Again, if I'm only coming into work in the morning time, I'm fine. Maybe a cup of coffee if I've got enough time. If I'm going on a long bike ride, then like most cyclists, I'll have some glucose in me, so I'll have maybe a Lucozade, but I tend to prefer more slow digesting carbohydrates, just for the energy levels are a bit more, and you don't get the insulin spike as much, so the crash afterwards, not the bike crash, the insulin crash afterwards from the carbohydrates, you don't feel the lethargy hit you as much. So I'll maybe have like a flapjack or a protein cookie, something with a bit of fibre in there as well, just to kind of keep the calories a bit low because it's not digestible. But like I am looking for some sugars, but also some complex carbohydrates in there. So yeah, it depends on how I'm treating things. Like if it goes to an expo, I don't like eating around an expo. I don't know why. I don't find myself, if I'm going there for business, and like I find myself being a bit rude at times. If I'm like, we'll have our meals and we'll have our business meetings, that's fine. But if I'm walking around an expo, not really. So in the morning time, I'll try and have some complex carbohydrates, maybe 60-80 grams, just enough to kind of get me through the day. So in terms of like, so that's like in terms of carbohydrates. Like in front of us, we've also got all the products. We've got like, you can take fat burners for energy if you like the convenience of capsules. As far as I don't know, there's no capsulated pre-workouts, is there?
No, I've touched on this before, where I've looked. If you look at many fat burners, a few of them tend to contain the same ingredients that are in a pre-workout.
Yeah, of course, because it's stimulants.
Yeah, so obviously you say there's no capsule pre-workouts, but if you wanted to take a capsule pre-workout, you just take a fat burner.
Yeah, you can take a fat burner. You could treat basically any fat burner if you wanted to. Like as Nick's just pointed out, the ingredients tend to be very similar. They carry over. So if you wanted the convenience of a pre-workout, but you don't want a powder, just take a fat burner, because you might not be wanting to lose weight, but it's still gonna get you up and going.
I had it with last year when I was competing. I couldn't take a pre-workout on a leg day. The bloating was horrible.
Yeah.
So I was using Treadable at the time. As obviously it's capsulated pre-workouts. I couldn't use them in the day.
No.
I used horrible stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
Pretty
was
strong.
Yeah. That's how I was using them.
So like there's different ways. You've got powders, you've got capsules, you've got some things that you can help with your mitochondria to burn up fatty acids for energy, for nice ATP, and you've got carnitine 300. You know, there's other people jumping on board the whole carnitine train as well. So it depends on which way you want to go through, and what dosage you're looking for. If you wanted some slow release, you could take something like a nuts and more, or any peanut butter spread, basically, because fat is a slow digesting energy source. It gets you the nice release throughout the day. Do you notice? Do you actually, you know how we can feel caffeine? We can feel sugar. Can you feel fat when you take fat as an energy source?
Someone else was going to ask you before about foods and the energy intake from them. I don't tend to notice.
Yeah.
But I think that's because I don't always follow a structured plan, and I'm a bit of a mess when I'm eating. At the moment I am on a plan.
Yeah.
But in the past, when I've known, like, I've been just eating anything and everything I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
I don't notice the energy as such because it's not
controlled. Yeah, that's when
controlled.
it comes to like the whole research thing of like having a control group where you have a set diet, and that set diet is the same all the way through except for the control, which might be, you know, you got a placebo group and then you got control 1, control 2, and like you just change one fundamental about the structure and then you measure the changes.
It's like it's why I don't like the fit your macros diets.
Yeah.
Because you
don't
find
know what's working.
I'm always opting more for the higher fat foods.
Yeah. Is that because of energy sources, like because you feel fuller for longer on the energy?
No, it tends to be just because obviously the
taste
nicer foods tend to be higher in fat, don't
Bacon.
they? Yeah. Anything basically greasy, your sausages.
Yeah.
It's one of them. That's what I tend to opt for. Or I'll be on the move a lot, and if you want to go get a butty or something, they tend to be higher in fats.
Yeah, or like a burger.
Yeah. So, but if I'm sticking to a structured plan, I tend to get a cleaner source of energy from cleaner foods such as your carbohydrates, fruit.
Talking about structured energy, do you find your energy levels are different when you've got a structured meal set plan of eating clean foods to when you're just having a greasy kebab?
Yeah, I do. I'm a lot more alert, I'm a lot more switched on a structured plan. I feel cleaner, I feel more awake.
Yeah. It's like the whole thing where you get your engine on your MOT, you're going for your MOT physically, and your body's used to that certain type of fuel, so it becomes more efficient at absorbing that fuel, digesting that fuel. Whereas if you're eating a bit all over the place, whether you're having a kebab, a McDonald's, a takeaway, because of the high levels of fat, the high levels of sugar and whatnot, your body tends to feel more sluggish, more lethargic, a lot more, not just physically but mentally.
That's how I feel, and I think I get that quite a lot. Tends to be like I touched on, because the foods I tend to be eating on the move, they're not as nutrient dense. No. It's like when you look, it's probably a topic for another day, another video, but when you look at people doing it, fit your macros, you ask them the sort of foods they're eating, people will say it's a healthy way of doing it, and yeah, you can lose weight doing it. But you've got to look at the nutrients you're getting from the foods.
Yeah, you could lose weight being on calorie deficit, but how smoothly are you utilising those nutrients?
Yeah.
So diet can, affect how you feel. Like, what's your guys' opinions? Like, do you find yourself being more lethargic? What diet do you use? Energy levels all come down to nutritional value, supplement wise as well. What diets are you following? What do you recommend? What do you do for your energy levels? Do you take for something for like a quick fix, like a caffeine, a cup of coffee, energy drink? What's your favorite energy drink? Why do you take what you take? Do you go for carbohydrates, more like something like a cluster bomb, so you replenish your glycogen levels? Something that like endurance athletes and cyclists like myself might take. Do you go for like a quick fix? basically stop myself, repeat myself. Let me know down in the comments, what do you do? So to round things off, how would you narrow everything down? What do you recommend? What's your take home message?
I'd say look at your foods.
Yeah.
Look at your foods, because you obviously, I've always found as well, the cleaner my diet, the better the supplements work. So if I'm strategically looking at the foods I'm having around my training, and then I have took a stimulant pre-workout, the pre hits me a little bit more effectively, harder, cleaner. And that's
it's also when people gauge, like they'll say, I've took this, I felt nothing from it. If your diet isn't on point, if you've took a big greasy burger before the gym and then you took a pre-workout, that pre-workout's going to digest as slow as that grease is in your stomach. It's going to inhibit the absorption rate, it's going to slow down the caffeine, and then you're going to blame it on the supplements when it's not. It's your nutrition that you need to look at. So yeah, that's a good message. Look at your nutrition values first. If you're low on energy, sort out your diet. Once you've sorted out your diet, then you can look at like a quick fix, like a supplement wise. But yeah, if you're knocking down energy drinks and they're not increasing your energy levels, then the problem lies nutrition value.
Well, sometimes look at also, there's a lot of people out there that are hammering caffeine in, so the tolerance is quite high. So obviously then you could look at more like your hards, 350 milligrams of caffeine. It's going to hit you quite hard. I know I feel absolutely off my head when I take one of them.
Yeah.
But then I'd look at lowering it for a little bit.
Yeah, just rebuild up your tolerance levels. That's why I think every single member of staff, when comes in, when a customer comes in asking for a pre-workout, we'll always ask them, what's your caffeine tolerance, what you like with caffeine, because then just from knowing that gives us a little starting point, and then we can recommend a supplement for each person, whether they want something that's entry level like a C4 or something that's going to get them wired like a Devastated Crimson. You know, we always start off with the caffeine tolerance, and then from that one we can build up a good assessment of what product will work best for you. So yeah, okay, that's this week's roundup on energy levels. I'm feeling a bit more better off. So let's finish working, let's wrap up, and let's get these back on the shelf. Thanks guys.